Yes, 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 yes. Welcome back to the Football Terrace. Man United 2, LASK 1. Not a vintage performance. Not an amazing Man United display. Not one that is going to send shockwaves across the footballing world. But listen, you mugs. We're through to the next round. We won the game. We came back from behind. There's nothing to be angry about tonight. I'm actually angry at the people that are angry. That's how I feel. We're going to have some boys on the show. We're going to share the links. You guys can call in a few moments. Tony Marshall, by the way, scores again. Stats are also misleading because Juan Mata was the worst player on the pitch, but boy walks away with 2 assists. If you just go and look at like who scored and look at who, like everything today, Juan Mata looks like he had a good game. His player rating was probably quite high as well. I mean, they gave him an 8.7 because he got 2 assists. Guy was trash. The guy was trash today, but there we go. Listen, do me a big favor, hit the like button, share button, the retweet button. Massively important that you do that. But it was 7-1 on aggregate. United are through to the next round, which we kind of already knew. Martial with his 23rd goal of the season. I'm staying positive. It's another game since January that we've won. Let's delve in and see what some of the boys have got to say this evening. KJ, what's going on, bruv? You good?
Yeah, man. Listen, that was hilarious, fam. I've never seen such a bad game in my life. I was enjoying it.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like a cross between pre-season, end of season, like there was rustiness. There was a lack of competitiveness about the game. Like LASK really went for it. You could tell they were trying to walk away and not be embarrassed again. But are you surprised by all these mugs on social media getting like legit angry? I've seen people outright attacking Ollie, like abusing the man, abusing him.
You know what? Yeah, it's one of those ones where I understand where they're coming from in terms of they want to see the young stars play. You know, the Mengies, the Lairds, the Garners. They want to see them play. We're 5-0 up. We've got nothing really to lose in terms of like, listen, they're not really gonna challenge us really, and I can see where they come from, but at the same time, it's like, come on, guys, if you're really saying it's one of those games where we could throw the kids in and just breeze away, then it shouldn't really matter what we do in the lineup. You know what I mean? Like it's not enough for me to start calling Ollie and this, that, and the third. He does baffle me. He baffles me, but
see,
still.
I look at it like I don't necessarily feel baffled in the sense of these guys clearly need minutes, right? And I think that they need the minutes. If anything happens to one of our Avengers in the next few games, let's just say a couple will pick up injuries between now and Monday when we play Copenhagen. Some of these boys have got to play. They're going to play. They have to play. If they're completely rusty, it's going to be harder. So I understand why he did it, like logically. The same as we said last night. Pogba will probably get minutes at some point because a lot of people still think he's lacking a bit of absolute match fitness. But then you saw, why is Ollie playing? Pogba, what if he gets injured? Well, you always take that risk.
It wasn't that kind of game anyway. Like they weren't flying into tackles. They went.
Exactly. But I would have liked to see Ghana and get more minutes. I'm not going to lie, but I think the outrage is I didn't get. It's children. It's literally children. I'm going to stamp my feet because Ollie didn't give me sitting at home in my house, what I wanted. And these mugs, honestly, there's one thing being disappointed. But then there's taking it to that next level, for me, absolutely crazy. Like, we're going to bring Aaron on now. And I'm sure Aaron was disappointed with lots of elements of tonight. But what I know about Aaron is Aaron isn't going to abuse anybody over it because he's not a child. Aaron, welcome back to the show, bruv. What did you make of tonight's showpiece?
It was funny.
I told you it was hilarious, fam.
It was a very funny game in the sense that I don't know, man. It felt like I was in a circus today. Like honestly, it felt like I was in a circus today, bro. Like a lot of people just doing stuff that I expected them to do, or didn't do stuff that I expected them to do. And again, just everything that happened today just proved all of our points. Like we've been saying it time and time again. The depth in squad is a big concern, and we just hope that during the summer we're going to strengthen in the right way in terms of like people on the bench, because with all due respect to all the players that played today, we should have comfortably come out with at least 2 goals, or at least 3 goals.
Yeah, that man were there for the take. They were there to get slaughtered. Like they literally they play constant pressure, fast build up. You know what I'm saying? Like they just went for it. I respect them for doing it because they got nothing to lose. But as a team, even if it's our second string, it was 4-0, like all over, like 4-0 easy.
Yeah. What frustrated me tonight again is there was moments of good play, loads of openings where we were in the
lot. Yeah.
It was just either the final ball or the application when we were in the right. That's what I found annoying. You had, Dan James tonight. I tweeted something out that went over everybody's head when he missed about his 195th cross. I just said, Ed Woodward has officially put in a £208 million bid for Sancho. Like, and I like Dan James as a guy, as a man, as a person. I think he's fine. But a lot of people saying he's brain dead. I don't think so. This kid, he's overthinking. He's getting into right. Mm-hmm. When a sportsman, especially the ones that are running in their sport, are thinking too much, the feet, the little shuffle thing all the time. Mm-hmm. Feet are always shuffling. That's like the physical representation. Like when a computer loads, you go to the noise a computer makes.
It's buffering, man. It's just bare buffering.
It's buffering,
and because he's thinking. And there was one time where he put in an early cross that went across the 6-yard box. Nobody was there. He needs to be doing that every time. And then we will moan at players not being in the right position as opposed to his cross being intercepted or caught by the goalkeeper. He's overthinking. And that's the thing. That's the difference sometimes. Technical ability gets you so far. It's what do you do in the...
I understand that. I've been kind to Dan James since Feb, because I was like, you know what, let me reshape the way I view football and calm down and give everyone a fair go.
Yeah.
You say technical ability can get you so far, but what technical ability have we really seen from Dan James?
I'm talking in life. I'm talking.
Okay, yeah.
It has to have been technical ability to have got even to the championship. Trust me, Aram's a good footballer, but obviously he ain't playing in Championship League One league. You know how good you are. So when we take it real, everyone in the Man United squad, Phil Jones could come and would be better than all of them. Every position you think you can play. He actually, have you ever seen a pro footballer go and play with amateurs? You actually go, oh God, he's actually quite good. I'm just saying, at that elite level, when you get there, it's a different kind of thing. And some players, it isn't the technical side, it isn't the speed, the physicality, it's the thought process. And I look at Dan James, and he thinks too much. It's overplaying everything. He delays things. There was times in the game where Lingard does it. Even Lingard nearly missed his opportunity because he was overthinking, looking around. Bruv, shoot, put it away, and it went in. So that was fine, but. The great thing for us, we know we need to buy better players come when the season's over. We're looking at the Sanchos of this world. I'm glad that Bruno didn't come on and didn't play. I'm really happy for Tony Martial, though. 23rd goal for him.
I'm telling you, man. Told you. Black Panther, ice cold, fam.
You know what's funny? I was just going to mention that. He was talking about, we need to buy Harry Kane, who's a proven goal scorer. And Martial comes in and scores. Perfect answer. Perfect.
And the way he got into that space as well, the little thing, and then...
You just the little footwork there, do you know what I mean? That's typical Martial, man. You already know.
And when he goes through on goal, you kind of expect it. And the nice thing is there's 3 games left now for the Avengers to play.
Imagine if they actually played, that would have been 8-0, fam. Watching that game, I was like, if we actually played everyone, it would have... Hat tricks for everybody, fam.
And you know what? I actually keep forgetting that it's only one game every leg. I keep forgetting.
Yeah. It's knockout. It's knockout football, man.
This could work to our advantage because over 2 legs against the good side, we might just fall.
Well, over 2 legs against Wolves, I would be bricking it. I would.
Even against Inter Milan, if we ever faced them, let's say in a semi-final side, I think over 2 legs they would probably have too much for us. But in a one-off game, anything's possible.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, the good thing for us is I hope that some of the better teams knock each other out. We've got quite a clear run to the final, I feel. We're going to play Copenhagen Monday. We already knew that before this game, but it's official now. You don't want to overly chance it. So Copenhagen, decent team, but we should beat them. We should be in the semi-finals at the very least. And Monday's going to be exciting. We're going to jump in and going to add some rivals to the call now, as we always do. Please hit that like button, please, ladies and gentlemen. Get your super chats in as well. We'll get them put up on the screen. Let's see what some of these men have got to say. Yes, we had TD shifts. We had Stephen, Laurie, Nix, all Arsenal fans, actually.
Hold tight.
Start with you, Laurie. I mean, were you using tonight, Laurie, as a scouting mission for next season's Europa League journey? Is that what you're using these next few weeks for?
Well, not really, to be fair, because we've been in the Europa League for so long. You would think we'd be used to how to play in the Europa League, but who knows? With Arteta now, we're going to probably see a different style of play that we've been discussing over probably the last month. So I'm pretty optimistic about next season in terms of how far we can go in the Europa League. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's an avenue that we should try our hardest to get into the Champions League with, but who knows what will happen. But in terms of you guys, I don't know if it's too premature to say, from judging from tonight and judging who's left in the cup itself, that I don't see why you lot can't go all the way and win it.
That was really a conversation I wanted to bring up, and a great segue, mate. Yeah, we should be going for this now. Like we spoke about on our preview show last night, 110%. I want to see the strongest team possible in the next 3 games. They're one-off games. They're a week apart each time, which means there's no excuse for fatigue, nothing like that. Put these players out there, play up with our hearts in our sleeve, win this tournament, seed number 1s in the Champions League next year, build some confidence, and then go on from there. Stephen, what you saying, bro?
Exactly what you said. I mean, I don't see why you shouldn't be going for this now. But I'm still trying to recover from the weekend.
As you can see, I've sobered up now. The adrenaline and the alcohol has kicked out. I'm not normally like that. I was just
I want that Laurie to come back, man. Bring him back.
I got my infusion tomorrow, so that'll put me up. So
there we go, man. TD Shift is in the house. No camera tonight. What are you up to? You little cloak and dagger geek to you. What you doing there?
He's wearing a United shirt, really.
Yeah. No.
With underpants on, sir. I'm serious.
No, I'm 100% fully clothed. I'm 100% fully clothed. That's for sure. I just want to say, Elite's my guy. Yeah, Elite's my guy. Like I have a good chat with Elite early today. Elite's my guy. But no, honestly, I 100% agree with what Laura was saying earlier, though. Like, and I think Elite nailed it pretty much straight on the head earlier when what he was saying. And obviously you got I think you might have Inter Milan later on as well. So they're probably the toughest ones in it, yeah. So as Laurie said, like there's no reason why you shouldn't win the whole thing.
Hope so. I do hope so. I want to ask you, Arsenal.
Sorry, just before you answer your question, Tay, I was going to say another thing, because the season's starting so early, with less than a month. Do you see the games as like good build up for match fitness and like almost as if pre-season as well?
Well, that's why I think it was. I understood another reason why I understood the team that Ollie picked, because I got dressed now. Because
I was already dressed, bruv.
I love. You know what I love about the internet in the last 4 or 5 years is people like London slang has not only spread across the UK, it's spread across the world. Australians and the Americans and that. I literally hear them say things like "bruv" and "in it." I'm like, this is amazing. Like this was like in small parts of London when I grew up. Now everyone, Mancunians, Scousers, people from Glasgow, New York, they talk like my people in the East End of London, Southeast London proper. It's amazing.
Terry, the reason that is Terry, the reason that is is because one of my good friends is from it's from like your part of London, yeah, and he's also a Liverpool fan. So yeah, it's kind of.
I get why. I get those reasons, bro. It's cool. Yeah. So I think that part of the reason to play the players tonight is the fact that there's 3 games, and then there's at the end of these next 3 games, there's about 3 weeks, and the season starts. These boys who play tonight need some kind of game time because we can't be starting the season with these guys not having kicked the ball because we're not going to get any preseason games. They can't go 5 playing. They can't. It's impossible.
Plus the fact, Terry, you're 5-0 up anyway, so what's the point in risking injuries and stuff like that when you've got 1 week knockout games?
People wanting more of the academy to play, which I get. I also understand why fans wanted that, but like you might not see Fred start a match now until the Premier League begins. He may not even play more than 20 minutes in the next 5-6 weeks. He has to get game time tonight. It's as simple as that for me. Boys, I appreciate you all coming on. We're going to jump onto some more callers now. We'll chat to you, boys. Take care.
Smash the like. Smash.
Yes. We've got David. We had Safe in the waiting area. Safe disappeared. We've got David.
The hat's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. The trim.
Hang on. They got a job lot. They got the same fucking. Oh my God.
Turn your head, Dave. Turn your head to the side. Hey, look at the fades. Look at the fades.
Hey, come on.
God damn.
This is literally before and after shot. Like it. Can tell, do you know what I mean? There we are. Now, boys, I'm liking the trim. It's literally same hair, the same. Yeah. No, same goatee as well. They got the. Bro, these boys, you went together.
I got this trim in Ireland as well, so it shows what we can do.
That's impressive.
Turkish brother.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Turkish, yeah. Got to be Turkish men can cut. I think a Turkish barber could make my hair grow back. Do you know what I mean? Like, by the way, I've actually got quite a lot of hair. I shaved this because of lockdown, and I just like the fact I ain't got to do it anymore. But I'm going to Turkey next year for a transplant. Zane, thank you for helping pay for that. It's amazing. But yes, boys, what did you make? We'll come to Danny in a minute. We'll go to the Chelsea fans. Of course, you boys are being dumped out of Europe. You've already been slapped up. Man United have got to fly the flag high for England. How impressed were you with your fellow countrymen tonight? We're going through something.
Man City are still in the Champions League, aren't they?
They're not going to win this tournament. They ain't on this level. They're not about that life. What you saying? What you saying about the brilliance of Man United tonight, boys?
You were awful. It doesn't matter. Hey, it doesn't matter. You got the win. That's all that matters. You got the win. You got the win with a weakened second team.
Yeah, but I said, Dave, if we was awful with the first team, it would like, yeah, you guys suck. But it was our second team, so it was just funny to watch, really.
Yeah, no, I couldn't watch it. It was that bad. I switched the Inter game. It was pretty bad.
How dare you? How dare you? Now, listen, I know it wasn't a good game. Like, I'm not crazy. I know it wasn't a good game, an entertaining game to watch. But these kind of matches, it was never going to be. And I'm being very, very flippant when I speak about us being brilliant and amazing. We are into the next round. Do you make Man United favourites?
Favourites for me. United have been favourites for me all season. So if you don't win the Europa League, it'll probably be due to the fact that you get beaten by Inter Milan or Wolves.
Sorry, I said that funny DM made me laugh. I can't repeat it, but it made me laugh. No, I make Man United favourites now. We certainly weren't favourites 2 or 3 months, like November, December, because we were poor. Danny, Devil in the Details. Firstly, well done for getting the shout right about the meet. Have you seen what's happened in the media now since this morning? You had Jan and the like talk about United are just posturing and trying to own the media narrative. And now Dortmund have come out and said there's been no contact. And it's like, of course it hasn't. Yeah, Fabrizio Romano has just made it all up. Like, it is amazing. It's literally, I mean, I do, and I don't get it. I don't really see that. Like, Joe, I get it. Is fans care so much now, don't they? Whether their team gets the better deal, the better bargain or not. Do you know what I mean? But to
why though? It don't matter, fam. If you get the player, you get the player, and that's all that matters, fam.
I can't hear you, bruv. Actually, Dan. Yeah, if you jump out, jump back in again. We've got a little special guest tonight. Here he is,
Safe.
back with us again. Safe.
Hi guys.
Fresh trim as well. Safe with a fresh trim. What are you saying, Safe? What do you want to say, my brother?
Well, I'm really disappointed with the game. It was really boring.
Uncle Nick's is there.
I didn't really enjoy it, but I understand why Oli did it. I like to get rid of many players like Mata, Pereira, Lingard, Jones, Morning, Sanchez. All should be sold, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I still believe that Manchester United should go for Aubameyang, because at the end of the day, he's playing for Banter FC. He's playing for a shit club, and at least if he comes to Man United, he can win the Champions League, the Premier League, before he retires. I don't know what you guys think. Would you agree with me?
My face says it all, fam.
I agree. Arsenal are Banter FC.
They're shit. They can't even beat Brighton. I mean, yes, David, there's that David FC team, that Chelsea FC, and I was really shocked with this.
He said David FC and not Prime FC.
That's not Chelsea. I'm really shocked about.
A slapping is 4-1 in the final, not 2-1, but okay.
Yes, but how could he lose to a shit club? Like, I'm sorry, like.
Hey! It's the same way that Wigan beat Man City in the FA Cup final. Wigan beat Man City in the FA Cup final, so it happens, you know.
Safe has been calling this show for 3 years, and it's the first time I've actually you actually said something that's good banter. I'm honestly, that is as rare as rocking horse shit. Like, I can't believe it's just happened, and he's just got two of you. Oh, honestly,
Teddy,
yeah.
I just want to say something to you in your recent videos. I'm really, really disappointed the abuse they gave towards Arsenal Football Club. That how can they not afford to pay Thomas Partey 43 million? Unfortunately, if you look at Arsenal financial aspect, right? Arsenal financial aspect, they don't have any money because they haven't qualified for the Premier League. They haven't qualified for the Champions League, and no sponsors want to pump in money to Arsenal Football Club. Why would they want to put in money to Arsenal Football Club? Because they're not achieving anything. So if it was a JP Morgan organization, you wouldn't pump in 300 million. You'd rather pump in 300 million to Man United or to Liverpool.
You're safe. What are you talking about, fam? I'm confused. What's happening?
I don't get the point. What is your point?
My point is, please do not abuse football clubs, because I got offended.
Football clubs have feelings. Do you know what I mean? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, football clubs' life matters. Come on.
Okay. Well, I'm not saying that, but cool, you can. I'm taking that risk. Thank you for coming on, my bro. I appreciate it. Chat to you again soon. Neeks, what did you make of tonight's game? And also, what did you make of the muggy response from a lot of United fans on socials?
I mean, I've come to expect it, unfortunately, from Man United fans. Like, it wasn't that deep. We were 5-0 up. There was about 8 players who wouldn't get into our starting 11 normally. If you look at all our Europa League games, I know it's been a long season. It's come around full circle back in August again. But a lot of our Europa League games have pretty much been like that. Even the last game away, we were 2-0 up. I think we had a bad first half. I can't remember it properly. But Gallo scored a banger to get us to 1-0. Van James Mayer scored as well. But anyway, it was 3 late goals that really buffed up the scoreline to more than it actually was. So I wasn't really surprised at the performance. I was disappointed, but I wasn't really surprised. And I wasn't surprised, and again, I was disappointed by the reaction in social media, because I feel people want to be angry because anger sells, anger gets a reaction and gets traction more than anything. Because why are you angry? We're 5-0 up. We're 5-0 up. We're through to the next round. It's the Europa League. We're in the Champions League already. Why are you angry?
Are you guys responding to Jeremiah's comment? What comment are you boys laughing at? Yeah, that's the comment you're laughing at. Like.
Don't put
That's
it.
not the comment.
All right, don't put
Sorry,
it.
that's not the comment. That's not the comment I laughed at.
Don't put. I'm laughing at Abdi Hassan. Don't put it on screen.
Yeah, let me finish anyway.
Sorry, bro. Sorry, Nick. Go on, mate.
Yeah,
Go on.
fine. Yeah. So for me, I think nobody can really hold their heads up high after that performance. You know, Marshall came off the bench and got a goal, so I guess he's happy. What's his name? Mengi came off the bench, got his debut. But I think our best players, in terms of those who started, had a decent performance at best. Like Lingard was the man of the match, and he was decent. It wasn't a great performance. Fred had a decent game. I mean, Mata got 2 assists in the end, and people are getting on to me on Twitter. Got 2 assists in the end, but Mata had a poor game. Mata had a poor game. Dan James was awful. McTominay was poor. The defense didn't have much to do. So
yeah, but did everyone see Bailly do a little shimmy in the box?
Bailly tried his best to get injured in a game he had nothing to do. Like it was a bit of a performance, but a good result. The second half was better than the first half, but the first half couldn't be any worse. So it was just okay.
Yeah, Danny, what did you make of it, mate?
Do you want the truth?
Yeah, always.
Honest truth. So basically, halfway through the second half, I decided to make some like special brownies with some homemade custard. And I was just like, this game's dead. I can't even be bothered. So I made some brownies, had some custard.
Special
brownies. Back to the game, some special brownies, yes.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, there we go.
Low carb, low fat one. Yeah, I get you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Came back, went on Twitter, saw the usual nonsense. It's like, okay. Even saw somebody say, Ollie's blagging it with Chong doing well at left back. And I was just
I was about to talk about that.
Was like, wow, really? Your boy Rance Terry, that guy, I swear to God. Like, you know, when you see a performance like that, how can you be motivated to speak about coaching? That's like the game, like Nick said, the game is like whatever. We're 5-0 up on aggregate. There's a reason why I wanted to see the strongest 11. This B team, I don't want to be too harsh or overreact, but like some of them are just a waste of space. I've got to keep it real. They're just not even. This is why I was saying yesterday, let's get our first 11 ticking over and start. We need to balance winning this competition and preseason for next season. That's what we need to do.
If you had your strongest 11, at least from the attacking point of view, you're not going to learn anything. Sure, you might end up being 6-0, but it's not going to matter.
Prime. So take out the back four, for example, yeah? The base of that midfield, that's our midfield for most of the season. That front line, to a certain extent, those are the players that have been playing. Lingard and Mata had a lot of games this season. We know they've been poor. They just kept being poor. Lingard was decent today. Mata, Neeks has already said it. He was one of the worst players on the pitch. He just happened to get 2 assists somehow. Like, I don't know how he managed that, but that just shows you sometimes assists are meaningless because he was crap. Even with the 2 assists, he's not getting more than the 6.5 from me personally. Daniel James is a B-tick Valencia, and that's a major insult, to be honest with you. Because Valencia's basic kick and push, but he was really effective with it. Daniel James can barely kick and push effectively. That's like him at Super Saiyan God mode, almost like trying to kick and push. He just doesn't. Again, I don't want to overreact, but everything I'm saying is pretty much what I think most Man United fans have known for most of the season. Without the Avengers assembling, this is why we've been struggling most of the season. This is why in December some of us were blaming Ollie and saying get Ollie out. You know, this is what our B squad looks like. But we know we're not going to see this lineup for the rest of the competition.
I think what stood out to me tonight is there were lots of moments, first and second half, where we had the balls in the right position. Play was there. it's execution. And I even mentioned Lingard. He got played in for his goal, and he almost blew the opportunity. Like
It was an own goal. It was an own goal.
Terry, there was one moment where I switched back, right, and Chong does this ridiculous run, like Ronaldo chops it, dribbles past 2 people, gives the ball to Pereira, and then Pereira just stands on the ball and takes like 7 touches, and all the defense back is like.
That's the point. You can't make Pereira that much better. This, people keep saying, Klopp always has a system, but yet Liverpool fans tell you when Jordan Henderson's missing, they nearly always lose, draw, or nearly lose. But yet, like, Henderson's missing and the system falls down. Tell me how they did against Shrewsbury. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's just look at it in a lot of the cup games where they other than when they played Everton, where Everton were an embarrassment to themselves, putting their strongest team out and losing. All teams, when they like rotate, the system's there, but the quality isn't. You're telling me that young Williams at right back, if you just played him, is going to deliver the same amount of assists that Trent does? Not on your
question. Sorry, because you triggered me, Terry. You said Williams. Where do you guys stand on him? Please,
I mean, Liverpool, by the way. But do you know what?
Oh, okay.
Let these boys ask about Williams. I've got my views. Go on, boys.
I think it's go on, Nick. You go.
Okay, I'll go. You know what? I'm not going to be harsh on him. He's had a decent season. He came in at a time when Luke Shaw wasn't really performing at left back, and I think his good performance, to be fair at the time, pushed Luke Shaw to perform better, to solidify that left side spot as his own. However, I don't know if he's a left back because he doesn't like to use his left foot. He's a right back. He has. Well, I don't know if he's I don't know exactly what he is, but he's definitely right-footed. So if you're going to play him in a fullback area, I would say right back makes the most sense. But he's been okay this season. That's as far as
I think he'd be good cover for right back, left back when we need it. And if you're really feeling really brazy, even him at left wing, right wing for a specialist kind of game where you need hardworking wingers, he could do that. Like if you're going for that star, so like I don't think he's that bad. I can see him kicking on and be a good squad player. But Chong at left back, have we stumbled on something that might work? Get him to get on the weight.
No, stop it. KJ, pump the gas. Look. Chong at left back worked today. That was fine. But have we got past the point now where Man United fans can't be crying if Williams doesn't start and Luke Shaw does? Because I'm sick of seeing that.
No, do you know what's mad? I think I was going to say on Williams. When he first came in. I can't remember exactly what month it was. Let's say it was October. I don't need to, whatever it was. Up until about December, January time, he impressed me every time he played. And I thought, defensively was sound and whatnot. Since the restart, I think he's been exposed. I think he's been caught out of position a few times. He hasn't been as potent going forward as an example. And that also coexisted at the same time that I remember when we were coming back, none of us were sure who was going to start in that left back position, and it was Luke Shaw that got it. I think that Williams is just young, and this kind of what we've got with AWB, what Liverpool have got with Trent, Chelsea haven't got it with Reece James yet because he's had a lot of poor games since lockdown started. In terms of positional sense, young players don't tend to make very good defenders. They're good, but they're raw. For me, it's a position of experience that takes you 2 or 3 years, generally speaking, to learn. I think we're being too premature by saying, I think everybody wants the next Trent in the sense of having a 19, 20-year-old that's good enough to be a first teamer from almost day one. That's so rare. Like Trent is the exception that proves the rule. AWB is still learning so much. So I think we need to be very mindful of that. We had the rumors today around connections to Alex Tellers. That's the kind of player we need. Someone that can push Luke Shaw, maybe start in front of him. Williams can then play a kind of covering role, play left back, right back, maybe further forward when he's needed in certain games. Maybe even send him out on loan halfway through the season as an example. I think it's too premature to say there's nothing in him. I think there is a genuine talent in the boy, but he's just being caught out, and it's experience. Sometimes he's half a yard off the pace, but he doesn't close down quick enough, or he closes down too quickly. But there's a raw talent there that I can see on Chong being a left back on terms of that super chat.
KJ.
Right when he came on, but we're playing against LASK. Like Chong, for me, I'm not sold on the boy. But, interestingly, everybody told me that Angel Gomez was an absolute baller and the world wanted him. Man just signed for Lille and got sent to Boa Vista on loan. Told you, like, the kid's decent, but that's it at best. Like, everyone's got...
Oli played all the kids against Astana away early in the competition, and they were awful. They were absolutely awful. And again, I'm not going to go and berate them because they are kids, but this is at a time when people were like, oh, obviously Lingard and Pereira are playing well in the first team. Oh, just get them out and just play the kids. And I'm like, if you think Lingard and Pereira are bad, the kids are worse. At least Lingard and Pereira was keeping us in, touching distance of top 4, but we couldn't do enough to get there. If we play the kids, Gomez, Chong, Ghana, we will barely be top 10. Barely, if that.
Do you know why guys like Gomez? In English football, yeah, if you get a little player with some technique and skill, you can drop the shoulder on a man. That's enough for some football fans. They just go. They just love it. But they don't.
But that's why they love. No, but that's why they love Andres Pereira, and they were criticizing him why they weren't playing Pereira. I'm like, Pereira ain't done nothing but look fancy. He doesn't do anything on the ball.
Pereira has good technique, good skills, but the mental aspect of the game, decision making, anticipating things, movement off the ball, doesn't have it. Just doesn't have it.
The thing is, which I'm annoyed about that United not do. We have not used the loan system in recent years. I think to its full extent that we could have developed these young players different, better. And I know we're United, we give youth chances, blah, 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 blah. But I'm like, but if we're not giving them chances in the first team and they're not actually ready, what's the point of them being in the under 23s?
Well,
get them out there.
If you ever, there's an interview that the technical director, I'm not sure quite his title, Brighton gave. And Brighton are a much smaller outfit than Man United. Their academy isn't as vast or for the quality that we have. However, when you hear him talk, he spoke about his role and he speaks about how their loan system is done, including the women's teams. If they send a player out on loan, they go to a club that has the same base philosophy as them. Of course, there'll be intricate differences, but it's whatever their style is, these 10 things, we need to find clubs that play that way. Their under 8 right through to their first team play the same style of football. There is cohesion. The problem Man United had is our academy for the last 7 years up until Oli came in was playing a different brand of football to what LVG and Jose were. So you then have this mix. You can send the player out on loan to a really good team that plays brilliant football, and then they come back and have got to play on the Jose Mourinho team. How's that going to work for you? We were lacking synergy and sort of a linear process in the way we did things. And what I hope that Ghana and China the boys go out on loan next year to a good footballing team. Are going to give them game time and give them opportunities. We've added Mass M and Samuel. Mass M, what do you want to say, mate?
I was watching the game on CBS, and that was absolute dog shit. I haven't seen a game that bad in ages, really. Not even a championship game. I haven't seen a championship game that bad in ages, to be honest. I have no idea. I understand why he played the kids because, again, they need game time, and hopefully we can actually get more and more people as we go through the competition. But at the same time, I didn't expect to see that. That was...
He didn't play that many kids, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Only Foster Mensah, McTominay.
Well, they're not kids, though, are they?
McTominay is 23 years old. He's a first-team player.
I'm just saying.
The base of that team was Fred McTominay, because we're really concerned with the offensive side of the game, not the defending, are we? It's really the offensive thing we're looking at. Daniel James, Agallo, Lingard, Mata, these guys are regulars. They've been regulars for most of the season, apart from Agallo, obviously. So
I was going to say Williams, Fosu Mensah, McTominay, and Dan James are the only ones who can claim to be young. The only ones who can claim to be young.
Yeah.
But they're experienced in the sense that they played multiple games this season and in previous seasons for some of them.
Yeah.
But Mazem's right. It was garbage. It was utter garbage to watch. That's what's making brownies in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. Samuel, what you saying, bro?
I don't know why people are mad at Ole today for the lineup, because I think not paying. He wanted to pay the first team players just to get them back into the groove of playing football again. I mean, he was that Ghana guy that everyone got mad at that he wasn't playing. What was his name?
James Garner.
Yeah, Garner, Laird, Mengi. Like,
yeah, why are people attacking Ollie? I mean, come on. This guy's done a lot for the academy.
Yeah, look,
Just doesn't
the
come
people
in.
that are attacking, there's a difference between criticizing Ollie and I put a tweet again. I said there was some guy that was really berating him and abusing Ollie, and I just quote tweeted and said something along the line, "Ladies and gentlemen, meet a fake United fan," and how dare you say he's fake just for giving an opinion or criticizing? It's like, bro, that's not. And this is where the world's gone wrong. Swearing at Ollie, calling him all sorts of names, that isn't criticism, that's abuse. And you're not a Man United fan if you're doing that. There are other United fans out there that don't want to recognize a style or a system. And it's we don't have the star players, we don't play as well. Is that just not? Is that that's normal? How many times? And all the older United fans know. How many times did Fergie's Man United team get knocked out early doors in the League Cup when they played some academy players and their second string? We felt like we went out all the time early. What, suddenly there no system, or was it the fact that we were playing a much weakened team who often didn't play regularly together, often could go 4 or 5 weeks without actually getting real game time, and it didn't quite click, it didn't quite work. It's just mad how these people are out there attacking the manager. But remember, Ollie could win back-to-back Premier League titles and then lose 3 games on the bounce at the beginning of the next season. These people, they would turn on him. So I honestly wouldn't take him seriously.
This is the thing. People have an opinion on Ollie. He ain't good enough for Man United. Therefore, anything that goes wrong or isn't perfect is the moment and the opportunity to have a go at Ollie. We created about 4 or 5 openings before we actually scored, like clear-cut openings, where it was a clear lack of ability, whether you want to call it rustiness or just pure ability, from the players in the forward line, why we didn't score. Now, is that the manager's fault? The manager has, and the coaches have got you, found a way to break down the team, whatever it may be. You get into that position and your crosses and beat the first man, your pass is over here or too short. How are you going to blame the manager? But of course, because their belief and their agenda, it's not just a belief. When you have an agenda, you have to do your best to stick to it. Because their agenda is that Ollie's not good enough. When it doesn't work out, it's because Ollie is not good enough. Then when Martial comes on and he creates that link up with Mata that maybe an Igalo or a Dan James or possibly a Lingard couldn't do because they don't have the ability, it's now freestyle football. As opposed to the fact that Martial is a player who has the quality to execute the plans that Ollie and the coaches are putting in training. There's no balance.
Yeah, and do you know how you can expose these people? If you were to give them a questionnaire about the players, the front line that started today, and say, do you trust these guys to do particular things? Like, do you trust Daniel James when he's in the final third to make the right decision and put a quality ball in? The answer would be no. I watch these same people's tweets. They criticize all these individual players. They'll slag off Mata. They'll slag off Daniel James, but then say, oh, yes, Ollie's coaching and there's no pattern to play and there's no attacking movement and, there's no ideas here. This is B-Tech stuff. It's Ollie's.
And why are you attacking the players? Yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
I'm one of these people. Sorry, very quick. This is the way I look at the game, right? For me to attack the manager and coaches over a player, you as a player need to do the basics first. If I see you doing just the basic things, right, consistently well, at that point I can stand up for you and say, you know what, you're doing the basics, you're getting into the right positions, you're putting in good quality, but the manager clearly has got things wrong tactically here. There's two.
LVG's football was a perfect example. Yeah, the players were doing exactly what he wanted, and it wasn't good enough.
Yeah,
it wasn't enough to win
that
the
was
game.
A quality of player problem, not an LVG problem. I've always said that. I've said that to Terry before on this platform. But with these people with Ollie, it's an agenda now. They're not being objective anymore. Like Terry's been on the record. He was Ollie out. What? 8 months ago. Time's gone. We're in August. Oh my God.
No,
8 months ago, you were Ollie out. You're objective because you're objective.
I want to show you boys something. So this is a guy, we've all seen him at Rizzy United. We've all seen this guy's tweets. Yeah. This is, I'll show you it and then give you my thoughts on it. So this is the tweet. It says, Ollie accidentally creating a demon by throwing Chong at left back, right? It's a funny video. It's a funny video.
Fire up.
Right. So it's funny. It's funny. But let me just say this now before any other YouTuber does. If Chong over the next 2 or 3 years turns into a top left back, they will not say Ollie spotted talent, Ollie coached the player. It will be he threw him in as a last ditch sub because we had nobody else because of injuries, and he fluked it. You know, like by the way, like LBG didn't come right, but you know how people try to take away that he brought through Rashford by saying, well, he was forced to because of injuries, and it's like, well, with him, he could have just played another winger there. He could have played.
You could have did what Sir Alex Ferguson did and play Raphael in central midfield instead of bringing Paul Pogba off the bench.
Yeah, yeah. As an example, yeah. So for me, that's what will always happen, as you already said, Daniel. If there's a brilliant bit of play, the players get the credit for it all the time. If there's brilliant. I mean, this is the thing with Marseille FC. And a lot of the guys, and he mentioned Rants, and I'd love to see Rants do this because I've got a lot of time for Rants. I get on with the guy, especially off camera. But he loves Martial and has backed Martial from day one at being the best. But there's no praise from Rants to Ollie for getting the best out of Martial. And my sort of view is kind of like my kind of view of all these things is quite simple, really. I always feel like these people are always going to attract a certain type of fan. I think they'll attract a hell of a lot of rival fans to watch them. These people need that attention because it's a business for them now. So there's almost an element of that. They won't ever come down from that. If that makes, they almost create like characters for themselves. You all know what Rance is going to say. And I know what he's going to say almost before, not word for word, but you kind of know what he's going to come out with. There isn't that objectivity there. There is an element of, do you know what? I'm still not Ollie's biggest fan, but fair play to him for what he's done with Martial. It's great. Because you know for a fact if Ollie would have got sacked in November, and Allegri would have come in, or Poch would have come in, and Martial turned into this player, it would be, look what Poch has done to Martial. Because it's pure confirmation bias, you know. And for me, I even said it about, you know, every manager I've not wanted, there's elements. I said it about Moyes when he got sacked. At least he brought through Januzaj, though, because at the time, Januzaj was looking dynamite. You couldn't take that away from David Moyes. That was something he did do. But you're always going to get that. But it's one of them things for me. It's that if you could... These people, like that's why also you won't really see a lot of these people, YouTubers, these big Twitter accounts. You won't see them go onto channels generally and debate other fans like yourselves. They'll go on the big things where they get asked a question. There's a bit of challenge, but it's all like friendly and almost choreographed challenge. They won't just come on here and like Rant would never come on and have a debate with you, Daniel. And he just wouldn't.
Or Neeks.
Yeah, he just wouldn't. He wouldn't. And that isn't
what Neeks does in debates already.
That. A lot of the big YouTubers won't go on to and debate smaller YouTubers or some of you are not even YouTubers. You don't own your own YouTube account. They wouldn't do it. It isn't just rants. It's the vast majority of them. But I feel like they should because actually I think it would make great viewing in one area. And secondly, I want to see. There's this element, and I'm not putting rants into this category. There are lots of others out there that do it. I want to see if they truly believe in what they're saying. And when you know if somebody truly believes in what they're saying, it's when they can come up with rebuttals and responses to your criticism or your critique or your debunking. And then at least you can go, I disagree, but you
all right.
But this is when we spoke on the phone like a few weeks ago. This is what I was saying to you. If you want to be that football fan who keeps referring to coaching consistently, at some point, you need to add some substance to their arguments. You need to get technical. You need to start breaking things down. Otherwise, like for me, you've got no credibility talking about what's going right and what isn't from a tactical perspective. Because they never break it down. They just say patterns. What patterns? What patterns? What a triangle, a square, a hexagon, a pentagon? What patterns what do you want to see? You tell me. They never do. They never ever do. Sorry, Nix, go ahead, bro.
No, what I was gonna say, I don't like calling out people, but obviously someone that mentioned in the chat, someone like Saeed, who he comes up with the term Ole Gunnar freestyle, and a lot of rival fans have bought into it, which you expect them to because it's criticizing a Man United manager, whatever it might be. But when he's been challenged, and not even like on a proper debate, but challenged by Flex and challenged by what's his name, KG comedian. He doesn't really have an argument. He's just repeating the same thing. Oh, they're gonna freestyle. So as you said, unless they're coming with substance to support that, for me, it's boring. You said it once, you said it twice. You haven't got anything to back it up. I'm tired of it now. But as long as it continues to get traction, then they're gonna keep repeating.
It's just
Talking
like
about no, go on, Samuel. Go on.
it's like Goldbridge. Like whatever Goldbridge says, he feels like he's right. Like if you try to question Goldbridge, he always says he's always feels superior to everyone else because it's his opinion.
Well, listen. On all their opinions, what I would say is this: is whether it's Goldbridge, Rance, Flex, all these boys, right? I think all my opinions are right. You all think all your opinions are right because they're your opinions. You can't have to that you don't think is right. And of course, I think for me, what I want to see more of is free debate. We have, like tonight, we have an open forum that anyone can call into. Not everyone gets on because of time, but where you can come on and challenge me. And I'm not the best debater in the world. Sometimes I will shout over you. Sometimes I will sit there and listen. I make no bones about it. If you come on and you're rude to me, I especially shout you down because it's like, well, you don't need to speak to me like I'm a piece of junk. But I give people the opportunity to. And all I'm saying is I don't have any issue with what Rants, what Marks, with Saeed, with Nicola House. I don't care. What I want to see more from these YouTubers, and these guys are the elite end of the spectrum. I want to see them have dialogue with, in a night, with 5, 6, 7, 10, 12 fans. Give them a minute or two each to throw a challenge and an answer. I want to see because I want to know what's behind that. I want to know what's behind the points you're making. It's very easy to respond to a comment because there's no rebuttal. And don't just do a talk sport thing where you let someone ask a question, you respond and then cut them off, right? I'm talking have a to and fro, have a 10-minute conversation with them and just see. I kind of feel, I just want to see what it is because I'm a bit like you and I'm not so much with Mark. I agree with actually quite a lot of what Mark says, to be honest with you, when it comes to the actual opinions that he holds on things. Rants, like I've always said, I feel like Rants, I agree with a lot of things he said about Pogba and about Martial, for instance. What I don't agree with is the fact that he won't ever credit Ollie for anything that Ollie does. And I sort of feel like that's where, and I'm only using Rance as the example because Rance is a very influential man, as a lot of people follow him. And when Rance says something, like when he made up a Rash Bandicoot about Rashford, that's still viral now. And it's funny. And it genuinely but the point is, it's like, it's kind of used. And I pointed out back then, I'm like, you can say you lack intelligence. Can somebody now, after the joke, can someone now quantify that for me? Show me, I did it to one guy recently about Maguire. And I'm like, okay, you say he makes too many mistakes in certain areas. How does that compare to other top-end defenders? The response was, well, he ain't a top-end defender. Okay, well, get top-end defenders. How many mistakes are they making? It doesn't matter.
That's why I put out that tweet about, who was it that I tweeted about again? I might have been Upamecano being dribbled past more times than Maguire this season. And it's just like, yeah, how do you feel about that? You want him now? Are you sure, Man United fans? You want
by the way, thank you for coming on.
Talking about debates, yeah. So Prime has been talking to me for a few days, like, we need to talk about Paul Pogba. We need to talk about Paul Pogba. I'm like, cool, what is it about? And he's not said what it's about, and he said he would give us a little something about what you want to say.
I saw that on Twitter.
I didn't say that on here, but sure. I just want to have a discussion about how you think his career at United has gone so far.
Oh, I was expecting some kind of like he's actually a fraud.
Everyone knows I rate Pogba, so I'm not disrespecting him. I just want to have a discussion.
I'll keep it simple. I'd give him a 7 out of 10 for his Man United career. Simple as that.
So what is that average? Is that above? Is that below? What is that?
It's a 7 out of 10. You take it how you take it.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
It's a 7 out of 10. It's obvious.
I'd agree with 7 out of 10. And what I'd say as a rider to that is that I expected an 8 to 9 out of 10 when we bought him. So I've been slightly disappointed by what he's produced based on my expectation, but he's had a good comeback career at Manchester United so far.
It's complicated, Prime. The Paul Pogba thing you have to break down season by season.
Manager, I know. That's why I want to talk about it.
That's why I'm just like 7 out of 10. Simple as that.
That's why I want to talk about it, because a lot of people have polarizing opinions about Pogba, and I just want to.
Well, you want to say you're right when it says polarized, because some people go, it's like we know the ability of the guy's hair, and so when he does do something up there, some people who are like massive Pogba fans. I'm just the shirt I'm wearing now is a You can't see it. You can't see it's a Paul Pogba shirt. I'm a big Pogba fan, but I like to be objective the way I analyze him. But people who are either massive Pogba fans and are very angry at the way he's been treated would overdo when he's played very well. And those who don't like him will underplay when he does well or highlight when he doesn't do well. So you're right. It's very polarized. Yeah, people.
I agree. Seven.
It exposes as well.
One second.
Some people say he's poison. Need to get him out of the dressing room. Like there's various two massive extremes. And to be honest, neither for me, I don't think either of them are correct. He's somewhere in the middle.
I was just gonna say I've got zero time for even discussing the personal and character attacks. That's all just nonsense. Just from a footballing perspective, for me, the way people have reacted to Paul Pogba, if you look at the first 18 months to 2 seasons, it exposes how much Italian football people do not watch. They just don't watch Italian football. They had no true understanding of his role at Juventus. I've seen well-known YouTubers do tactical videos where they break down Paul Pogba's a Mazzala. He played at a diamond at Juventus. But
a certain man, Dave, you know what I'm saying?
Sorry, Danny, before you continue.
Let me finish, bro. They put a back 4. They don't put a back 5. They don't explain how Pirlo was the playmaker, how Vidal was the box-to-box man, and how having a back 5 and a diamond is completely different than having a diamond and a back 4. They don't get into any of that. You know, we had to wait for him to win a World Cup for people are like, oh, when he has 2 athletic players next to him in the midfield, he does okay. Yeah, you don't say. Paul Pogba's career at Manchester United, for me, it highlighted, let me put it to you like this. A Bayern Munich, a Real Madrid, a Barcelona would never ever have a midfield with only 1 CDM and 2 box-to-box midfielders as their group of midfielders around Paul Pogba like we've built at Manchester United. It doesn't make any sense. If you look at the profile, his abilities, you need to surround that with particular types of players. He needs to be playing with a 3-man midfield, with an athletic defensive midfielder and a normal like playmaker, or even a box-to-box in a 4-3-3. If you look at what we surrounded him at United, it doesn't add up. People just thought, £90 million player. He can, as Teddy Sheringham put it, he doesn't dig Man United out of the mire. I'm sorry, but who did Roy Keane dig out of the mire? Paul Scholes, David Beckham, Ryan Giggs,
Let me just say on that as well, just really quickly, because I'm not going to reinvent the wheel of what people have just said. By the way, make sure you go and subscribe to Neek Sports right now, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not.
No. I know you're not. Let me just say my piece on this quickly.
Yeah. What did he say? What did Nick say there?
It was Solskjaer's comment. I mean, Jadon Sancho's coming to Man United. That is what Ollie has just said. That is what that means. It means Man United are signing Jadon Sancho. Because, again, if you weren't looking at him, like, seriously, you just say no. You'd go, no, we're not. You remember when Lampard was interviewed and they said, are you going to sign Havertz? And he went, no, we're not. Like, he's like smiling. It's like, if you listen to his words, he said, no, we're not. You look at the face. I guarantee you, Ollie's face, I bet he's got that little cheeky sort of Gollum smile. Like,
he's got that Haaland smile that you had.
Yeah, he's like that. Yeah, it's going to be like that. So, yeah, he's going to be coming. On Pogba, though, I would 7.5 out of 10, personally. Yeah. And that's my personal. However, he's been let down massively by Man United. We haven't built the team to go around him. If you put Paul Scholes in this Man United team of the last 3 or 4 years, he would have still been Paul Scholes, but he wouldn't have been as influential. If you would have had this exact same team, but maybe taken out Rashford on the left and put Beckham in on the right, as an example, we wouldn't have been that much better because the balance of the team was so far gone. There wasn't this. Like I've said before, the reason we hate Lingard so much, and I say he is the collective, is because this guy should have been what he is now. A fringe player that plays in games like tonight where he comes on and scores a few goals here and there. He should have been this generation's Wes Brown,
Aaron Fletcher,
those guys. But he wasn't. He was being made to play the first team. If John O'Shea was Man United's main left back after Dennis Irwin left, you're telling me you'd have had people who felt the same way about him? No, because he couldn't have done it for that period of time. Imagine Darren Fletcher was our main midfielder and not Michael Carrick. Partner Skull. He'd been as good. No. So Pogba's been let down by Man United, not buying the right players, not having a system, not buying the right individuals, breaking the structure. There's been so many things that have gone wrong with it. We've got a super chat here from Jem. Big up Jem for the super chat, bro. Says, after protecting his looks rather than taking it in the face for his team, he's definitely a 4 out of 10 season for me. Madness.
Well, more to add on that, Well, okay. Well, more to add on that, I see some people in the comments saying that I got bodied. Well, I love Pogba, so I'm not insulting him. I'm just having a conversation.
Prime. It's
And
not
people
a
are saying
couple
I'm fraud.
people.
No, I
It's
don't
not a
know.
couple people. It's elite opinions. Just say it.
Yeah, no, I know. But let me just read. And people are saying I'm on fraud watch. Well, I can't really if I'm having a conversation about people. The same way we can have a conversation about anyone like Hazard or whatever. Also, if
Prime again back.
well, if the league wants to have something, we can come on here and dish it out with me. Anyway, so if Pogba is to leave, let's not say this summer because with COVID and everything, but if he's to leave next summer without a Premier League title or a Champions League, which is the expectation you would say of signing big players like that, is his career at United anyway a flop, or is it?
I genuinely would be devastated if Paul Pogba leaves Manchester United without winning a Champions League or a Premier League, because I feel like people are going to rewrite history like they have done with Paul Pogba. So you may not know this, Prime, but there's this little lie going around that Sir Alex Ferguson actively let him go.
Yeah, I know about that.
He wanted him to stay.
Like,
I know about that.
Like, we didn't offer him a new contract. So when you start rewriting a black man's history, I get super sensitive. Super sensitive to people rewriting history. So for Paul, if Paul Pogba leaves Manchester United and we haven't challenged for a title or won a Champions League, or I personally would be disappointed for him, but we'll move on. But I'd be disappointed for him.
You know what's interesting as well? I love people. We'll talk about Paul Scholes for a minute. So he obviously made the comment tonight where he said, and he got so much abuse for this, where he said, I would be more desperate to sign Harry Kane than Sancho at this stage. I think Man United need a number 9, a real centre forward, a real goal scorer. Harry Kane be the man for me. Abuse for it. Then this is what he said after the game, right? He said that Martial, he said that's why he plays every week. He's got real quality, hasn't he? As a centre forward and as a wide player, he's been terrific this season. One of the players of the season for Manchester United. I've been really impressed with Martial. I know he's not everybody's cup of tea, but I really like him. He's been brilliant this season. Do you know what's mad about this? People will disregard those comments about Martial, and I just felt, yeah, but you want to Harry Kane, and this is because of people's narcissism. I want my player starting as the main number 9. I don't want him moved. It ain't about what you want. If we added a Harry Kane to our team, and I'm not saying we're going to, because I don't think we are, but in Paul Scholes' mind, he just looks at it as like, well, let's create a partnership, or let's create maybe Martial move back to a wider position, because I still think Martial could score 20+ goals a season from a wide position. And if you have Harry Kane up front, you know that man scoring umpteen goals. You know, it's like people are just, if you say anything about Martial not being the main number 9 striker, you're instantly shot down as being deluded. And that's the kind of fan I have a problem with.
The only thing
that's what Rance does a lot.
The only thing is what I'll say is that, and yes, that's to be balanced, because we'll hear the negative or the negative part of what Scholes said, but not hear the other side. However, there has been a lot of talk within the mainstream media and some areas on social media. And I've called out Filthy Fellas on it, for example. Every time I watch their stuff, they're talking about Man United need a striker. Man United need a striker. And Gary Neville said the same thing. Paul Scholes said the same thing. And we're looking at it like, but are they watching the same season? Are they watching the same Martial? And so I understand I get frustrated. I don't respond to it anymore. I get frustrated when I don't see people rating Martial. But for me, as long as Solskjaer rates it, that's all that matters. That's
the thing about football fans. We don't all have to rate the same players. It doesn't mean that they're bad players.
Trust me, after watching Mason Mount for a whole season, everyone talking about Speed's next incredible eyes are pressing this, that, and the other, and then I just like, so why are we buying Kai Havertz in his position? They're like, no, but it's gonna be him. I'm like, no, it isn't. Just stop kidding yourself. It's like people watch the same game and see two different opinions.
I'm sorry, Dave. Elite opinions, my bro. Please.
What did he say?
Please come on.
Pogba's level is Marseille, etc. This guy gets by with his occasional long passes and his constant whining, man. He's a bum. Well, you know, he gets into Spurs midfield. But yeah, basically, I just wanted to ask the question, and I didn't want to go up against a lot of United fans. I didn't want to be... No, I'm talking to you guys now. Me asking about Pogba. I didn't want to turn into a big thing with you guys. It
wasn't a bad
question. It's a fair question. It was a fair question. I just want to add to the Martial thing. It's actually not as sinister as people think it is. Rene Mullerstein said the exact same thing on Talk Sport today, by the way. He said Manchester United should buy Harry Kane and get another striker. And I've been trying to, Ryan Giggs has said it, and I'm like, why do these guys keep saying this? It's because they're pupils of Sir Alex Ferguson. Sir Alex Ferguson solved a lot of problems just by signing strikers. If you look at Sir Alex Ferguson's transfer record, history, and successes, like in the forward positions as well, because he had Giggs and Beckham from the academy, he got a few. Remember when we started Karol Poborski, Kagawa? A lot of his sort of technical attacking midfielders, wide player signings didn't work out, but his striker success rate, absolutely fantastic. Did we really need Berbatov? No, but we done it. Like RVP was a team. We've done it. So I think these guys are just used to Manchester United having multiple natural number 9s, orthodox strikers in their squad. The game has changed, and these men are a bit more old-fashioned.
The thing Harry Kane would improve us without a shadow of a doubt. He's a world-class
of course.
But for me, he's not a priority because if we spend 150 million on Harry Kane, where we still need a right winger. And also,
I think it changes.
But I'm just saying, I don't think it's as sinister as something with the Martial.
Yeah, I get it. We've got a couple more callers and get their opinions. We'll come to Monstar in a minute. Everyone knows Monstar is another fresh trim as well. Making your debut on the channel. What do you want? What's your opinion on this on the Martial debate?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I would say that Martial, if you look at the stats, he's proved his record. He's proved that he can be the main man for us. And this debate about Harry Kane, well, I've seen Keane and Scholes talk about him. But if you look at our team, do we need a big striker who's going to be... I'm not saying he's like Lukaku, but what I'm saying is he is someone who is Zlatan-esque, in my opinion, who will take the attention towards him rather than shine a light on the new players like Greenwood and the others.
Is that not what you need, though?
I don't think we need that kind of striker in front of us. Greenwood.
I understand. Monstar, what's your opinion, mate, as a neutral to this debate, in a sense, as a Chelsea fan? Like, would you take Harry Kane over Martial, or do you think it's more a case of building an attacking system that incorporates both?
If you're thinking short term, I'll probably say, I'll take Harry Kane. But with what Man United are doing, I'll say no. I'll say as soon as what's his name comes in, Sancho comes in, your two strikers should be Greenwood. I would personally try to convert Greenwood into a number 9 and let him and Martial fill that spot, between them. So I don't think Man United need. Why would you need Kane when you see what's going on at Man United right now? They're scoring goals, their attack is fluid as well. You don't need him. It's just a waste of money, in my opinion.
Thank you. You took the words straight out of my mouth.
Terry, sorry to
go on,
I'd like to say thank you for the opportunity. For this opportunity, yeah, thank you for it.
And not a problem, bro. Not a problem at all. Ram. Ram. I was at a farm today feeding animals, and there's all these rams, and I need to but I didn't actually get the joke. Ram. What are you saying, bro? Firstly, what was it like to watch? What's it feel like to watch your rivals likely to go on and grab European success this year? It's going to completely eclipse your title when Man United becoming European champions again, isn't it?
Cool. I mean, that's your opinion, isn't it? I don't care. I don't
care. Nice fact. We win this. And there we go. What's your thoughts on the Martial situation? Is he a good enough number 9 to make Man United EPL champions again?
Yeah, I think so.
He's better than Firmino, so yeah.
Yeah.
This Firmino thing is getting tiresome, man. I can't be asked for.
Okay. Don't worry, Rams. Don't worry. We'll have a discussion about Firmino soon enough. Don't worry.
I've said my piece about him so many times.
I'd like to say one more thing. Just to think that 2 years ago we were giving up Martial for Willian. It boggles the mind.
Well, listen, that is the one time I said Don Woodward, fam. If that ever happened,
No, do you know as a Chelsea fan, when I first heard the news, I was like, please let this happen. Please let this happen.
Wasn't also Martial for Sanchez as well?
No, he's Martial for Perisic.
Really?
No, but you guys wanted Sanchez. Martial for Sanchez. Swap deal.
No. That was just Arsenal fans wishing. That was Arsenal fans wishing it would happen, fam.
you know what's mad about Arsenal as well? Listen, first of all, like massive. I'm so sorry for the is it 55 people that have lost
55,
their
yeah.
job? Do you know, I was talking to a financial guy. The average wage of the person that's been dismissed is £35,000 per year. And listen, they're a business and they've got to run as a business. I understand that. But the prize money that they got paid for winning the FA Cup would cover the money they're saving through getting rid of all these people. I think that covers all those salaries for about 4 or 5 years. There is no way they're spending big money this summer.
Like, yeah, but every penny's got to go to Thomas Partey. Every
No,
penny.
but that's not happening. It's not happening.
No, when you see AFTV, Robbie,
yeah, because I've always said Arsenal. Can we all be honest? Arsenal were like conservative and kind of cheapskates when they had Champions League football for like 15 years straight.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think is going to happen when they're yo-yoing out of the Champions League? And now
the funny thing is,
4 years, bro. Like 4 years. Like this.
The funny thing is they're offering Willian. Like the reason he's not signing for Chelsea because we're not giving him a 3-year contract. He's going to sign on a free transfer to a new club for 3 years with an option of a fourth for probably around 200 to 250k a week.
Did you see?
You know what's funny? On the Arsenal show, on the football terrace that pops up every now and again. I don't know when it's coming back. Everybody was getting on the kid for saying Willian would be a good signing. I can't wait to see the next Arsenal show when that topic comes back up.
Did you
for about half an hour, they were all saying, we don't want Willian, we don't want Willian. Watch them all change their tune now, say it's a good signing.
Did you see DT's video? I think it was today or yesterday. He was talking about Willian coming to Chelsea and saying that he's leaving to join a bigger club. I don't care if he's your first choice. Your fourth.
You see what I mean? They're grasping at straws because they know they're not going to spend no money. The YouTube ads can't pay for it. Them doing GoFundMe can't pay for it. Them trying to use players can't pay for nothing. In fact, it's peak for them.
Yo, save all the money that you're giving towards the football terrace. Dash it into Arsenal a little bit. Come on, man.
Yeah, same. Pay for parties.
What are you doing to me?
Terry's got kids to send through school.
Look at his bald head.
Terry, aren't the Arsenal players already on a wage cut?
Yeah, there's that too.
I think you mentioned it before.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, well, it's not wage cut. I think it's deferment. And remember, with deferment, that means you're getting it later. So they are going to get that money back at some sort of point. But no, like Arsenal Football Club, like I've said, I don't care how good Arteta is. If Arteta turns out to be an elite level top manager, he's leaving you. It's happening.
He's going to Barca, man.
A reminder for you, Paul.
Myself?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm a huge Man United supporter. But just in terms of the Arsenal thing, I hope the FA have come and retrieved the FA Cup because I don't put it past them to like smelt down the trophy and sell the scrap metal in exchange for Partey or something.
Nah, they can't do that. Aubameyang already dropped it, man. It's sent it. They can't do that.
Dude, this would be a funny thing. If I was a very rich man, I'm talking billionaire, not even millionaire, billionaire. Do you know what I would put a bid in for today, and I'd make it public? I would bid to own the gold Premier League trophy. I'd offer them like 100 million. Like Pathos, Rich. I'd go, there's 100 million pounds for your gold trophy, and I'd get it, and then I would melt it down. I'd just do it for a laugh. If you got that much money, just do it.
Or you know what I would do? Yeah, if I was Arsenal, I would sell my trophies to Spurs so they can give their fans and elite opinions some trophies, and then man can get money. Both teams are worthless.
Yeah, but KJ, you know what Levy's like though? How much are you getting for them?
True, about £4.50. You know, I can imagine seeing Cronky. You'll see him down there somewhere in North London in cash converters with the gold Premier League trying to make some money.
I think we'll get a meme up for that.
Well, you go to the counter and be like, bang, a Premier League trophy. We've already got one, but is it gold though? Is it gold though?
And the guy behind the counter is like, yeah, we can't give you a Partey. Best we can do is a Willian.
Yeah.
That's what they're basically doing, Arsenal. They're going after these players. You know, they wanted Partey. They're going to end up. Do you know what? They'll end up with a Noble. They're on Mark Noble.
Terry. Put respect on Mark Noble's name. A year ago.
No, but you know, like what is it they say? Like, what people that have like champagne lifestyle, where they've got lemonade money. That is Arsenal. You know, they've got a Thomas Partey lifestyle, but they've got Mark Noble money. That's it. And you know what's beautiful about it, right? They're FA Cup champs, so they can have that, which is great. But like, they're going to be 7th or 8th next year. They are.
Reality of next season's going to come round so quickly, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
I can't lie, yeah.
KJ.
As much as I dislike Man United, yeah, I just pray. I want Man United to win the Europa League so they can just overshadow Arsenal's, FA Cup win. I'm tired of hearing from them right now, man. They're giving it the big 'em. Do you know what I mean? Because they won the FA Cup.
But I'm the other end to you, Monster. So I look at it this way with Gooners, right? And it's proper muggy from them, but it's great. I go back to what I said in my little preview. I want you to win because I know it's going to make you elevate to a level that's going to see you fall flat on your face again. And I praise the game, and I praise the tactics, and I praise how they won. But I was so happy because I'm sitting there thinking they're going to go over the top. And they've been more unbearable than Liverpool fans winning a Premier League title. Fair enough, they haven't tried to claim some mythical European Premier League double, which is the most embarrassing thing any football club has done. What Liverpool's done with that double is worse than Lampard put a full kit in that final. It's worse than that, right? By the way, Jordan Henderson.
Terry, not Lampard. It was Terry.
It was Terry. And Henderson did the same thing.
Same thing. But from my point of view, when it comes to Arsenal, next season they're gonna come 7th or 8th, and by the end of next year, you are literally gonna have. I can't take it anymore, Robbie. Yeah, I mean,
no, I don't know. Next season,
they're gonna snap. They will snap. Bruv,
I can see the judge. I can see the judge patrol, fam.
No, I can't. What's gonna happen is go back. Troop did a video on his way to a game. Arteta's Unai Army where they got beat badly, flipped. There'll come a moment this season where the switch will flip with these guys, and I don't know when it will be. It might be February, something like that, and it will go, and it will just be peak AFTV and chill, and it will just be.
But everyone's forgetting that they all flipped the last season in the Europa League final. The fan cams, they all flipped. Troops came out and said Emery has one more year to prove himself.
And they didn't.
So they all flipped. They all flipped on it.
I get it.
It's time to go. That's all you hear. Time to go.
No, trust me. From a team who played 3-4-3 for the whole year with Conte, once one team finds out how to beat it, everyone suddenly knows how to beat it, and it gets so every game you get shut down the same way, and it gets incredibly annoying. And also the way he plays against Chelsea, Liverpool, City, yeah, it's great. The Liverpool game was the flukiest win I think I've ever seen in my life. That was genuinely ridiculous. Chelsea, fair play to them. They actually played better than us, even though we were incredibly unlucky with our 2 injuries. But I'm not going to go into that. And then, what's it?
Man City didn't take him seriously.
Man City just, I don't know what Guardiola's doing. This is just a complete write-off for them. It's a complete write-off. I'm not even joking.
No, but we have to give credit to Arsenal because Arsenal played well in the Man City and the Chelsea game. They deserve to win.
Yeah, defensively,
the Liverpool game they were very lucky.
Let's get than they were before.
Because we don't expect that from Arsenal, that level of defensive performance. For them to put that in 2 big games
were giving
in a
high
row
fives
for
to
free.
each other once they were clearing the ball.
You have to give them.
What kind of level has this club dropped to where we're giving them praise for turning up in a big game?
Because they haven't been doing it for like 50 years.
The levels Burnley FC, mate.
Arsenal's big game record is shocking. They are an improvement. I love Arsenal fans. Like, they're the gift that just keeps on giving. Just being a Man United fan, being a Man United fan that's grown up in London, I've been laughing at them like 3/4 of my life, and now they think they can banter. They think they can banter Man United fans because we're both crap at the same time. That's an Arsenal fan for you in 2020. I love Arsenal fans. Love all of you.
Boys, listen, Monster, Mash, Ram, Josh, thanks for coming on, boys. We're going to jump into a few more calls before we end. Appreciate hearing from you. I'm going to chat to you, man, soon. Yeah, take care. Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Cheers. I'm doing this because I know that Elite Opinions has said he's trying to come on.
Please.
Maybe we'll give him an opportunity
Elite,
to come on.
Come on, man. We're all frauds over here, so come on.
I have a message for Elite. Come with fire, bro. Please come with some sense today. Please. I don't want it to be 6-on-1. It's not fair on you. So please, just come with some fire. Please.
What's it? Before Elite comes on, I was just going to say about Arsenal. It's like, yeah, there are in theory 6 big teams, but there are also 14, therefore smaller teams that you can't sit back and defend against because they'll do the same thing and just give you the ball, and then it don't work.
I've got a question.
Oh, go KJ.
Elite opinions, yeah. Ghostwriter. Who would win in the battle of the ages of delusion?
Ghostwriter.
Ghostwriter. Ghostwriter.
I have to ask this: what do you define as winning?
As in the battle of delusion, the most.
No, but what do you define as winning, though? Flawless.
When Messiah has to come up, baby.
Oh my god.
Yo, Neeks. Pull it up,
Neeks doesn't rep, you know. Neeks don't rep. I've noticed Neeks doesn't rep.
Neeks, pull it up, baby. Pull it up. Yeah.
Out here. Was you man saying on everybody?
Flawless. Did you hear what I said about Pogba?
Nah, what did you say? Go on. What unpopular opinion did you give on Pogba? Go on.
What makes you think it's unpopular? No, basically, I was asking. Basically, I was just asking about his career at Manchester United so far, and his career at Manchester United so far, has it been average or has it been a success? Or if he ends up leaving next season, has his career at United been a flop? Like talking about it so far.
I wouldn't say it's been a flop, but I wouldn't say it's been a success because we all expected more. But that's not just on him. That's on United. That's on United on a whole. Who in the past 7 years, player-wise, would you say has been a success at Manchester United? Like it's few. You could probably count on one hand, and that's because of managers off the pitch stuff, not investing right, etc., etc. So when I say Pogba's been a success, no, but it's all not down to him. But I wouldn't say he's been a flop either. I wouldn't say he's been a flop. Like he'll still go somewhere and be successful.
Elite.
That's fair. Thank you.
Opinions. Come on, fam.
He's gonna call him a bum. He's calling him a bum.
He's a bum.
Yeah, that's coming. It's coming.
Oh, this Pogba guy, I can't stand him. He's such a bum.
Oh, he's
opinions.
That's a world record. He got washed. He got washed quick.
He doesn't know the thing. He doesn't know what he's gonna say.
Yes, Lucy. Give him the fire. Give him the smoke.
I thought we left that in the past.
Galactus Pro said Elite KJ versus Elite Opinions. Who wins?
Yo, is that a member? Is that a member? What?
It's Lucy Galbraith, fam. How do you not know the GOAT, fam?
Man, yeah. She's the GOAT. She's here. She's a member.
Yo, what do you mean the GOAT? The GOAT of what?
She's a GOAT member, fam.
The GOAT of comments. She actually comes out with some perlers when you watch it long enough. Elite Opinions, man. Where you at, bro? Come on, man. You obviously called in, so you've got a phone.
Flawless. Did you enjoy the game?
Yo. Yeah, you know what? I don't think it was. I tweeted this out. I was like, maybe my expectations of this game were much lower than everybody else's because, like, I wasn't expecting too much. So the game was decent. It was like, it was a free hit. Like, it wasn't really going to change my opinion or mind on anything because it's like United were 5-0 up. It was a non-spectacle from the start. It was good to see Jesse play well. Though. I thought Jesse was bright.
Manchester United's player of the season, Jesse Lingard.
Yo, man, I'm all for that propaganda, man. Lionel Jesse.
Brilliant. Laurie here has got the great name for Elite Opinions. It's absolutely brilliant. Delete Opinions.
How do Terry, I want to ask all the Man United fans, how do we feel about Jesse Lingard? Do we still want him gone or do we want him to stay now? Like, is there light at the end of the tunnel for him?
You know what? I don't think I don't know about light at the end of the tunnel. There's something at the end of the tunnel. I'm not sure what it is. But for me, it's Pereira or Lingard. One of them must go. So whoever Solskjaer decides, I know this was it. Whoever Solskjaer decides, I'm not gonna be upset for either one. But if I had to choose, I would say Pereira over Lingard. It's like the Jones Smalling, where both of them are not good enough for Man United. But for me, Jones had to go first and has to go first before Smalling. However, we need better than both of them. So ultimately, I don't think either of them are ready for Man United. But Lingard, for me, I think he can. For me, he offers more. And he's Man United product, like kind of born and bred. So I have
Elite Opinions, burner.
Also, before Elite Opinions. before elite opinions start, Terry, someone said here we should get Lucy on.
Well, she ain't having it. She ain't
I need
having it,
to
fam.
get Burner jumped off again.
All it is, every time it comes on, my mom keeps coming in and telling him to stop doing it because it's not old enough to be on here.
Give me my phone back. Yeah.
Snide, man. Put this bully in of elite opinions, man.
Coming on.
Boy, this is what I mean about Lucy Girlbrain. She says she's not a goat. She just loves the content and commenting and stuff. See, humble, fam. Humble. Yes,
Come on, where is elite opinions, man? You little bottle job. You little
By the
bottle.
way, guys, did you see Wolves' video with Jimenez and Maguire?
Oh, now listen. These Twitter admins need to stop. They need to stop. It's too rude. They're just going in on everybody, just firing bare shots. I'm like, you guys.
What's crazy about it, though, right? It's funny, right?
It's so funny.
I keep getting people send me things like, Terry, I can't believe it, Terry. I'm like, what? I can't believe it. Sky have actually done a video talking about all the penalties we won this year. I'm like, I've come to this realization they're not having a go at Man United. They have got our rivals on strings. You know, when I see a funny video of Maguire, I'm no longer getting angry because it's the media controlling the minds of our rivals and the haters. Let them do it. When everyone, for Bruno Fernandes, I'm like, yeah, bruv, you've had that. Like, you've literally let the mainstream media indoctrinate your mind. I'm unplugged, bruv. I'm Neo here, bruv. I'm unplugged. I ain't in that world. You guys,
you know what they do now?
Your
Sorry.
thing.
Do you know what they do now? They just go on Twitter, because I've seen journalists recently in some articles referencing to the strange world of football Twitter now. They talk about it quite often. They go on Twitter, see what all the idiots are saying, and they make content about it. That's literally what they do.
Guys,
they've fallen so low.
We've found him.
Is he back?
No, he's better than elite. We have found a Man City fan. How you doing?
Wow. You're not
He's American.
On, you know.
How you doing?
All the Man City fans in the comments.
How long have you been a City fan, bro?
How long have you been a City fan?
Wait. I don't think Chelsea fans are in any position to question Man City fans because you're always.
Yeah, but everyone always asks me.
Anyway, bro, what do you want to say?
I don't know. I think like football channels, when they talk about City, they really talk about them with a lot of misinformation. I don't know. Was it David, the guy? I think they were talking about how Man City lost to Arsenal, and then as soon as he said something, he said Guardiola this, and it's just like a catchphrase where they're really misinformed. So Pogba, you guys were talking about Pogba a bit earlier, about what would rate. I'd rate him a 6.5. I think for what he was bought for. I don't care about prices. I don't really care about prices. Of course, I'm a City fan. Pogba, like, he hasn't delivered. If we're being honest, Pogba has not delivered. Like, he was bought first season. Mourinho came in with a few other players, like, was it Bailly, Mkhitaryan, and they have not. That team has not delivered. Like, United have spent a lot of money, but nobody gets onto them. It's always they're rebuilding, and then as soon as Man City buy one player, it's like, oh, they have to win the whole quadruple. They have to win the Super Cup. Like, it's so crazy.
How old are you? No, how old are you?
Literally crazy, in my opinion. But
how old are you, bro? How old are you? No, I want to know how old you are. Because for you to... Can you hear my microphone? Can you not hear me? Can you hear me? Can everyone else hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Question: sometimes not everyone can hear everyone in these streams. Question from Devil in the Details. He said, "How old are you, and how long have you been a Man City fan?"
I'm 19, and I've been a City fan for 15 years.
How long?
You say 2 years?
15. No. Since I remember football.
Okay, cool.
He said
So what age is
15.
that? This is what bothers me with 19-year-olds talking. For anyone to say no one challenges Manchester United about finances or money spending, Manchester United is the only football club where the media includes the agent fee and the contract in the whole total spend before, as soon as the player is signed. They don't do that for any other football club. We'll sign a player for, say, 30 mil, then include the agent fee, the length of the contract, and say Man United have just spent 65 million on this transfer.
Danny, I think what he means is the fact that when City, whenever City sign players, people always talk about they're breaking football and they're spending basically 100 mil every season.
Yeah,
but
but like,
when United do it, it's okay.
Okay, but Manchester, we spend our own profit because we've already been a profitable football club. We've always been that way. He's
Yeah, I know. That's not a problem
for a long, long time. But we've always been criticised for the money that we spend. That's just a load of nonsense. City get criticised because they're
I can't hear
spending.
what he's saying. Can someone
They
paraphrase?
get criticised for spending oil money. We can't do this.
You got Danny translator.
Wait, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. So no, I
can
get
hear
what you're saying.
everyone, but Devil. Can someone just
As
paraphrase?
you're lucky. Yeah,
so
he's
I can
lucky.
make my point?
He's lucky.
No, I hear that, but your connection's really bad yourself, Man City fan. Like every so often, your thing just keeps cutting out.
Sorry.
I can't deal with football fans under the age of a certain. David, I let you off. You're the only sensible and prime 20-year-olds that I know who can actually talk about football.
On your point, what you said was absolutely right. Man United have been ridiculed for years for how much money was spent, but kids don't know this because they were still in their dad's ball sack. You know what I mean? Like they weren't around. So hard to.
Also, Elite Opinions here said that internet has done a Martial job for today. Wi-Fi is shocking. Next time, lads, Rodimus Prime and Bomb KJ, you're safe for another day.
We are going to finish the stream now because I'm absolutely zonked.
Wait, guys. Some guy said I look like D'Artagnan, and he's some musketeer dog fan.
Who you look like?
Yes.
You don't know who that, tell me you do know who that cartoon character is, bro.
No, bro. Who's this?
Snoopy. That's Snoopy, man.
Is that Snoopy?
Hey, D'Artagnan and the Musketeers, that was a serious cartoon when I was a kid, bro. Again, you kids don't know what you're missing. There we go. Boys, I appreciate you guys all coming on. United through to the next round after epic win in Europe.
It was epic.
The European Championship. That's what we're calling this now. We're not calling it the Europa League. European Championship. That's where we're at. Everyone, we'll be back tomorrow with more clickbait transfer stories for you. So
wait.
Is it Sancho or Havertz?
Jadon Sancho or Havertz, man? Which one is it going to be?
We'll have a little Sancho video for you in the morning, no doubt.
Terry, just know once Sancho and Havertz sign, what are you going to do?
He's jobless.
Make up stories.
I always do. You know this, don't you? I actually make every journalist in the world write fake stories just so I can make YouTube videos of them. I mean, I'll
you know what Terry will start doing?
And the Mail and some random publications in Portugal I never heard of. I'm just going to make them invent stories for me, and that's what I do. That's what I have them do all the time.
Terry will start talking about transfers like Osimhen. That's what we'll start doing.
Ain't it interesting though that Chelsea have art still? What's going on with that? We ain't hearing nothing.
The way
But with Man United, every minute of the day, it's ridiculous.
You know what they're waiting for with the Chelsea Havertz deal? They're waiting for Terry to confirm it. That's what it is. Once Terry does like 2 or 3 in a game, and then you'll see it go on. They're just waiting on Terry to confirm it, innit? Terry's the guy in it they're waiting on. That's what that is.
So all you United fans that are worried about Sancho not being done, get on Terry's back.
Yeah, I ain't worried, man. I'm not worried, man.
I'm so relaxed. Is unbelievable. Like it's going the way it's meant to go. It's what is being done. 7th on the 7th. Number 7 shirt. It's going to be done, and it's there. And of course, but once this story is done, I will then just crack on and do more clickbait titles, more lies, make up more rumors. You know, I'll just do all them things.
Also, don't forget copying the United stand. That's also on the.
I saw that tweet. That was hilarious.
It's crazy. You know what's mad about it, right? Like
Wait. What was that? What's that?
So I get comments all day at the moment from people, especially when we've had a few really good stories we've done, like when we had Daniel Harris come on from The Guardian. It's like, you're just copying the United stand. I'm like, you could argue that. I'm doing what every other YouTuber in the world does, though. I'm seeing a story in the newspaper, and I'm doing commentary on it, and then giving people a lot of talk. But it's weird. It's very, very strange. I told you what I did back in about 6 months ago. When I always go through these little processes every so often. I get a big group of people come to town. Clickbait. I actually had 2 YouTubers call me out as clickbait. So what I did, I started taking screenshots of the titles of their videos. And then I was running polls on my sites, on my community page on YouTube, saying, which of you consider all these to be clickbait? Should I get rid of these types of titles? everyone's like, yeah, we told you a clickbait. Da, da, da. You're not like, people were actually saying you're not like X, Y, and Z channels that don't clickbait. And then I revealed at the end and showed everyone, well, actually all the titles of these 20 videos I put up are all their titles. You're just attacking me because you don't want me to be successful or whatever it may be. But I love it. I know I don't make these stories up. I know I either read them in the paper or I speak to people. But I'm cool. If you think it's a lie, what I love about the most about it is, you know, the other day there was the thing that we did, the interview with the guy from Cameroon who was talking about the Matip deal kind of happening. He was like, no, that's nonsense. Then other mainstream media starts picking up, and then people are like, oh, actually, maybe Terry was right. It's like, bro, just watch the whole video. The guy explains it. I know no one's watched that whole video because the guy goes into Arsenal and Thomas Partey, talking about how Arsenal leading the race, but Thomas Partey and his family are getting pissed off because they've not put a proper bid in yet. And someone could come in, swoop, and take him away. But no one's listening.
That's your time, man. United, that's your time. Go sign Thomas Partey, man.
I'd love it.
If he goes there, I'm going to be legit upset. You know what I mean? I'd love it. He's quality, man.
And by the way, just
Sorry
to
to
say
cut
this,
you off, Terry.
right, mate. The other YouTube channels, the United Stand, what they do is amazing. Big up them. No issue what they do. But if I'm clickbait, every YouTube channel with clickbait, like they all do variations of the same thing. The difference is, if it's a channel you like and you like the content provider, you don't call them a clickbaiter. If you don't like them, you do. I'm kind of used to it. So yeah, more of the same, please. Say what you got to say. But the irony is, I'm a clickbaiter, yet you still click on my videos every day.
And pay super chats to say that he's terrible. Yeah. Keep it coming.
Because they are fans. That's like that. Yeah, them people there, that's what you call their fans. They just don't want to admit it.
It is what it is. But as I say, from my point of view, I respect all the channels. I think they're all great, but we're all the same. None of us are journalists. None of us are informed. None of us are involved with the deals. As a general rule, every now and then you might come across it. We're all the same. We read the paper. Someone said, you get your stories from Twitter. Yes, I do. And yes, absolutely. And then what I do is I talk about them with you and we discuss whether we think they're real. By the way, you know, tonight's game we've just sat and reviewed, I got that off the TV. You know, I watched it on the TV and then I came in here and spoke about it. I didn't play in the game. It wasn't my players. It wasn't my it's mad. Yes, I just love it. I think it's
Nah, Terry, just be honest. You make it all up. Just be
Man
honest.
United tonight. It's all I have managed to create. You ever watch one of the original Batman films in the 90s where you had Jim Carrey playing the Riddler and I invented this machine that it went on everyone's TVs and it brainwashed everybody? That's what no one knows this. That's what I've done. None of you have watched Man United play for 7 years. It's all been a computer game that I've invented. I did that just so I could do match reviews on YouTube.
That Kai Havertz deal with the whole sister thing. That was some random bird from Tinder, fam. That's what that was, isn't it?
I mean, Zayn puts enough money into your channel. You have to be able to do that by now.
Oh, Zayn isn't real. That's just me
paying himself.
Yeah,
you actually did that the other day with the Liverpool. You paid yourself. You paid yourself.
Kinda. I should say, yeah.
I saw Zayn on flexing KG. Is it KG's name is?
Yeah.
And he was putting some big money there as well. And they were like, "Come here, bring some more." I feel that was okay.
Zayn is a hole, fam. Zayn is a hole. Stop putting your money everywhere in every pocket that you can find, fam. Keep it over here, bro.
No.
KJ, stop accepting it then.
Yo, if he wants to be a hole, let him be a hole, man.
Terry, what you
money,
need to do, you need to make Zayn an exclusive watcher. You need to make Zayn an exclusive watcher. You need to get him a contract.
Wait. Tie Zayn down to a contract where he only pays us with nothing in return.
Yes, because you'll pay more than you give him.
If Zayn wants, I'll let Zayn shag my missus if he does that. He can do it he wants. Come round, all yours, but I will get my children to call Zayn dad. I'm cool with that, brother.
Have you got that poster yet?
Of what? Of
Zayn?
No, I'm getting one of Woodward for Saeed to put up on his wall, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I remember smoke on that on the video. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
And I'm gonna superimpose Woodward's head onto a naked man's body. That's what he's got to put up. He deserves proper punishment. That's what he's got to have. He's got to have that. Do you know what I mean? He was to make him do that just for calling Rashford a championship player. Just for that.
Oh, did he say that?
Yeah, he said that. He said that.
He said that. He was, he was,
You know
he
what I
was
like-
reactionary after a game. Yeah.
is what I like about Saeed is that you can actually have a pop at Saeed, challenge him, and he doesn't get emotional. Oh, I'm going to block you. Like, that's how it should be. That's my issue with a lot of YouTubers. You call them out on something, and they get sensitive and block you. And it's like, bro, like, you're weak. Why are you so weak? Why are you blocking, man? Because you're weak. Like, if people abuse you, you block them. But if you're just challenging them, then yeah, do that. But listen, everyone, thank you. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you again soon.
Hit the goddamn like.